So this video is going to be a breakdown of the warrior lunge. Now the different warrior postures that we'll do in our various flows all move from the upper body. So the lunge that you're in, your legs, your hips, all stay in basically the same place. So that's what we're going to focus on. So the warrior lunge is a pretty big stance, pretty wide stance. We'll get into it in a variety of ways when it's part of a flow. But for now, just go ahead and take a big wide step. For your front foot, those toes are going to be facing forward and your knee is over your ankle. And that is number one. That knee needs to stay over your ankle. Whether or not your thigh is parallel to the floor totally depends on your hip mobility. So number one, knee over ankle. Number two, your back leg, that heel is pressing down. So press your heel down, engage your quads to press that heel down and lengthen through your knee. So you're extending your knee, pressing that heel down. Quads are strong. Now squeeze your glutes and rotate that hip, that back hip, so it's facing the upper corner of your mat. Now a lot of times, this is one of the things that's going to tell you how wide to go in your stance. A lot of times as you rotate that hip around, that front knee starts to pull back. So if you start to notice that, that's a good indicator that you need to pull that front foot back. So keep your knee over your ankle, rotate that hip to face towards that upper corner of your mat. Once you're there, stay tall, stay lifted out of the center of your body, and you're going to start to rotate your shoulders until they're square over that front leg. This is another spot where you want to watch out for that front knee. So every time you start to rotate your body to face forward, that front knee is going to want to move back. So that you're going to have to keep an eye on and make sure that it stays over your ankle. And if at any point you're having trouble, if it just will not go forward, that's how you know to take a narrower stance in your warrior. So listen to your body. The other thing to watch out for is that front hip. Because what we like to do is kind of collapse down into that front hip. This is where you really want to squeeze your glutes. So squeeze your glutes like crazy. Think of tucking your tailbone under, pressing that hip forward, keeping your knee over your ankle, and you've got that little space in the front hip. For warrior one, we're reaching up, and you've got lots of options. Arms can just reach up over your shoulders. You can bring your palms together if you want. You can drop your head back and really elevate your shoulders. You've got lots of options on this warrior one. The big thing though is that your chest is square over that front leg and your arms are up over your head. Warrior two, we stay pretty much exactly the same. Front leg, exactly the same. That back foot can open out a little bit because we're coming out this way. So it's slightly different. Front knee is still over your ankle. Hips are still nice and open. Your shoulders are over your hips. The thing to watch out for in warrior two is this. You're going to want to lean forward over that front leg. So you got to squeeze your butt, pull those shoulders so they're right over your hips. That's going to be warrior two. Your eyes are going to follow out over your front arm. For reverse warrior, you're going to flip your palm up and we're reaching up. For this one, it's just your upper body. Legs stay exactly the same. That lunge is not going to change. You're just going to move this way. It's a light grip on the back of your leg, just kind of resting there. Top arm is going to reach up, not just from your arm, not just from your shoulder, but your whole side. Just imagine all of that lengthening up towards the ceiling. Reach from your rib cage. We go from there typically into extended angle. Elbow comes down and we reach that top arm over. So you want to keep a little space here. We're not just collapsing into that front leg. There's a little space there, pushing the floor away with that front foot. Reaching that top arm over, you're going for a long line from your fingers to your toes. From here, I really like to go into warrior two, which is a push the floor away, pull that arm back, and get your shoulders back over your hips. This one, it's really important to keep your knee over your ankle because you're going to really want to pull that back. So now I'm going to do the same postures with the other leg forward so you can see it from a slightly different angle. So same wide stance for warrior one, knee over ankle, of course. Heel is pressed back. I'm really engaging through my quads. Knee is extended. Back hip reaches forward, checking in with that knee, checking in that I'm not collapsing into the hip like that. Really tuck your tailbone under. Glutes are strong in this one. Knee over ankle. We got it. Arms are going to reach up. Chest is square. Lots of options what to do with that warrior one. And then warrior two, this is the only subtle change in the lunge, is that that back foot can open out a little bit, because that's usually going to be more comfortable. Shoulders over hips, knee over ankle. For the reverse warrior, flip the palm up, reach up, not just from your hand, not just from your arm, but from your rib cage. Reach all the way up. And then elbow comes down for extended angle. Watch out that you don't collapse into that front hip. Keep that little open space. And then we press it out. Pressing, pressing, knee over ankle, shoulders over hips, warrior two. So that's what it looks like from a slightly different angle. So not much of a flow there, but all the detail work. So that's a great way to practice those warriors. Lots of things to think about in that. And as we go through warriors and we include that in our flows, our little mini classes, you can always feel free to come back to this video just to get a little refresher on how to set yourself up. But I promise to give little hints and tips in the flows too. So that was our warrior breakdown.